Hi.
Hi,
Hey, this is Tresta,
and I'm Tom.
and we are wanting to talk to you about today about our letters. See, when I left for my mission, we were working together at Crestview, and I went down to New Mexico for a little while, and then I went on my mission. And he supported me as riding me back and forth on my mission. And we have collected, as you can see here, there's a box here full of all my letters to him. And then I had a notebook of all of his letters to me. And then the cards and the little pieces of everything that we've always kept. And we've always kept it in this little tin box right here. So some of the very first ones he sent, I remember going to the MTC and thinking, oh, hey, he's never written me. I was in New Mexico for 2 weeks and he never wrote me, so he's probably never going to write me. And I got to the MTC and there was a card there. Or a letter from him. So I wrote him immediately back saying I wanted a missionary pal. And missionary pal was just a little, I don't know, little Bible looking thing like about this big, and it was really thin and it had a lot of scriptures and stuff in it. And so I asked him to get that, and then he writes me this card and says, your missionary pal is your mission gift from me. Since before you entered the MTC, Debbie and I, another nurse that we worked with, have often asked one another, what should I get Tresta? Well, now I know. So he would send me cards. We started out with. So some highlights for me were that I started getting letters. I was in Rotterdam, and when I got a letter from him. So one of the letters he said, "Well, I don't know sure what I want to do with my life. I keep changing my careers." And he went from one career to another career, and he went into accounting this time. And I'm like, forget it. I'm not writing him again. I don't want to. If I'm going to be writing him, I have to be committed. And I'm not going to be committed to someone who doesn't know what they want in life. So I went 2 full weeks without writing. Well, I don't know, it was about 2 or 3 weeks. And without, I'm like, I want a letter from him. Dang, I really want a letter from him. Well, the only way I'm going to get a letter from him is I write, and I don't want to write. All right. So I wrote a really quickie letter, I don't know. And then I kept getting, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to be committed, because if he doesn't want to know what he wants to do, then I can help him learn what he wants to do with his life. There was no romance. I mean, we did say love you, and we did put our stamps upside down to each other. But we never, yeah, that was safe. But we never talked about our feelings. We never talked about our relationships. We only talked about gospel principles and gospel doctrine.
Well, and life.
And life.
Life type
and
things.
what was going on in my mission, what was going on.
But that's not entirely true.
Okay.
Because I did write a lot more.
That's true.
There's a page here, typewritten.
A page and a half.
Page and a half or more, typewritten, of things that I eliminated from my letters so that I wasn't writing you those things.
So these are his true feelings. And he put them away. And he never told me about them, which I can't say is totally true. I thought tonight was the first night I'd ever read them until I read a card which says, now I've given you my extra letters. You now know what's going on in my head. So here's some of these things. Now, when I refer to your question about what I thought about our relationship, I didn't send you my whole response. The rest went something like this. Most married couples should be so lucky as we are. Some others, I love you. I think we have a wonderful life ahead of us, not only on this earth, but in the eternities. Will you marry me? And that was back in '92.
Yeah, and you were on a mission.
I was on a mission, so he couldn't write that. He was asking me to marry him on my mission. I didn't know this. Anyway,
that was
interesting.
October.
Yep. I'm trying to write you, but I'm having trouble because I am overwhelmed with emotion. I truly love you more than you realize right now. I'm excited you're here in the United States. Only once or twice did I allow my arm to rest upon your shoulders. Why, you wonder? Well, I guess I'm just not quite as confident as I thought. Every time we'd walk, I noticed that where your scriptures were. Nearly every time that they were by the side opposite me. In other words, your hand or arm nearest me was nearly always free. Trying to give me a hint, were you? Well, yeah. What I really want to ask you is to marry me. Wow.
That was just fun. It's interesting. It's fun to see all this and find things you didn't remember or didn't know.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to reminisce.
When was the last time you thought about who you're with and what it was like and when you were courting and getting to know each other?
Go back in those memories. Signing off, and remember, it is all great when you're on the path of ascension.